podcast made by basketball fans for basketball fans. From the hottest takes, news, analysis, and passion for the sport that we all love, this is the Fast Break Pod with Finn James and Will Tremaine.
Welcome into the Fast Break Podcast, the podcast made by basketball fans.
For basketball fans.
Finn James.
Will Tremaine.
Back again with another episode. This is Season 2, Episode 18. And, well, Will, there's a lot to unpack.
There is.
And across all of our basketball topics, actually, with, we just had the NBA All-Star reserves announced, which we knew was happening today, but often we sometimes record a little bit earlier in the day, and we were about to hit record, and then,
very happy with
it came out, and I'll give you the tip. I'm pissed off.
I'm not.
And we'll get into that a little bit later. But, plenty to talk about. The Breakers had 2 games, and, well, there's a mixed bag. There's a lot of highs and a lot of lows from the Breakers in round 20.
Got our hopes up just to have them crashing down again.
Yeah, unfortunately. So we'll get into that into a little bit. A bit of news around the NBL as well. Just one big story, actually, that I found quite entertaining. We'll go around the rest of the NBL round 20, of course. We'll have a look how the ladder's stacking up with only, I think, 2 or 3 rounds remaining. I know most teams probably have 4 or 5 games left.
Yeah.
And we'll leave you with a poll at the end of the episode as well. But as always, skip to any of the time codes down below, wherever you'd like to switch to. But of course, we'll start off with a little bit of NBL news before we get into the Breakers NBL round 20. But, well, this is what happened, and we'll quickly go over this before we head into the Breakers game. This happened
crazy,
on
isn't it?
Wednesday night. The Adelaide 36ers versus the Brisbane Bullets in a Ignite Cup game. First of all,
I thought UFC 325 was on Sunday.
Yeah, well, it came early.
Yeah.
It came early. And this wasn't in Sydney, however. I think it was in Adelaide. But yeah, an Ignite Cup game. And Brisbane, undermanned as they always are, they weren't going to get the win. And they were down big in the fourth. But there'd been a little bit of chippiness going on between the two teams. Maldonado and Terry Taylor in particular were playing absolutely dreadful for the imports. Jacob Holt, on the other hand, was playing good. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But Hunter Maldonado and Nick Rakocevic has already been in a little bit of trouble this NBL season. Well, they got into a bit of a brawl.
Yeah.
And the bench is cleared.
That rear naked choke was a piece of art. Really, I think he should get promoted to his purple belt for that.
I think
it's quite special.
Terry Taylor should have taken... Dan Hooker should have taken some notes from Terry Taylor. Because, well, we all know
he
what
can take notes from anybody. Anyway.
But yeah, let's just say the bench is cleared.
Yeah.
There was a rear naked. There was apparently punches thrown, according to some of the boys in the press conferences.
I couldn't see
and
it,
everything. I don't think there was any punches. No. But there were 10 different sanctions given out to different people. And a lot of these came to players that weren't even on the court.
Because it kind of happened down the Brisbane end of the court. So
it did.
All of their bench just cleared out. And Tane Murray, Alex Dukas, amongst others, all getting suspensions.
So I'll read all of these out. So what happened, Rakocevic and Maldonado head to the floor. They're kind of tangled up. Looked like Rakocevic was holding him down. Apparently Maldonado was punching him. Terry Taylor comes over, puts him in a rear naked. Zylan Cheatham gets involved. The bench is clear. And there was 10 different sanctions. So the first one, Nick Rakocevic, for unsportsmanlike behavior, $775 fine.
Yep.
And 1 game suspension. He's already served a couple games this season as well, so it keeps going. Zylan Cheatham, engaging in a melee brawl or scuffle, $775. And their assistant coach, Kerry Williams, bench cleared during the fight. So the 3 of them, there were 7 from the Brisbane Bullets. Terry Taylor, 2-match suspension for a rear naked choke. Doesn't actually say that, but unduly rough play, Will. And I think you'll find that he could have been in UFC 325, an undercard potentially. I mean, he would have beat Aaron Toe.
Oh my God.
Aaron Toe.
So fair. So fair.
Missed weight. Hunter Maldonado, $775, unsportsmanlike behavior. And then we have a few bench clearing ones. In fact, there's 5 bench clearing ones. Alex Dukas, Sam McDaniel, Tane Murray, Casey Prather, and assistant coach Patrick Ewing Jr. All 5 of them served.
First of all, I didn't know Patrick Ewing had a son that coached in the NBL.
No, neither did I, so that was news to me. And the funniest thing about these is Hunter Maldonado, Alex Dukas, Sam McDaniel, and Casey Prather were all not playing in this game, all out with injury and cleared the bench, and Tane Murray decided to go and get involved.
I guess they just were excited to do something other than sitting down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all kind of unfolded, and that's the big story of the NBL from round 19, I think, or round 20, I can't remember. But
great story it was.
Yeah, very
honestly,
interesting.
Don't give any of them suspensions. It's entertaining as fans.
Well, the only 2 that got a suspension was Terry Taylor and Rakocevic.
Don't give any of them fines, sorry.
Yeah, $775. Just quietly, if I lost $775, I wouldn't be very happy.
No, I mean, they probably do make good money, most of them.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it's still pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. But yeah, that was the big story from the NBL in terms of news this episode. There's obviously quite a lot going around in the NBA circle as well, but if you want to skip the NBA section, just go down below. You can hear our thoughts on everything that's kind of unfolded in the last week or so in the NBA. But
indeed,
the big news from the week in terms of a little bit closer to home, we'll start on Friday night, which was a massive occasion, first of all. It was the Breakers' first ever game without Sam Meninga, Rob Baker. So, confidence levels
expectations were low.
Very low. For obvious reasons. Melbourne United, Jesse Edwards, premier big man. We knew he was going to have his way, but regardless of the game, Thomas Abercrombie getting his uniform retired, his jersey number. The ceremony was after the game, which rudely ESPN did not televise, which left quite a few Breakers fans a little bit annoyed.
Luckily, Finn and I were able to get along to the game, so it was a special moment.
It really was.
Obviously, Tom there with his family, a bunch of people that have helped along his journey, some fellow players, teammates. Dean Vickerman, obviously the Melbourne head coach, was there as well, said a few words. And then they had a nice little montage of videos up on the big screen from a bunch of players who couldn't make it. But no, it was very special. Shout out Abercrombie, fourth Breakers player to get his jersey hung in the rafters.
Yeah.
So
very special occasion. They did a highlight reel for Abercrombie.
Yeah.
Why the hell did his dunk on Jaren Jackson Jr. not make it into the cup?
Obviously, they were just doing like NBL highlights.
I don't care.
But yeah, they should have put that in there. That was probably his biggest play of his career.
It's definitely up there
in terms of views that that clip got.
Regardless if it was an NBA preseason game, that was crazy. Something else that stood out to me in their ceremony as well, the haka. Yes. First of all, great occasion. Love seeing a haka in New Zealand. I think it's very cool. But one thing that stuck out a lot in this, obviously, Finn Delaney and Shea Ely joined in, being our Tall Blacks. They did the Tall Blacks haka they do before games. Yeah. Parker Jackson Cartwright and Isaiah Brockington in the back doing the haka.
I love it.
That was awesome.
So good, man. I mean, I definitely understand why Parker was doing it, because Parker's he's called New Zealand his second home. He's after that New Zealand citizenship, although there's been mumblings about that. Makes sense for him to hop in there. Brockington, that was a bit unexpected.
Very unexpected.
Just an import that's been here for 1 year, hopped in, but you still love to see it. And then you clearly had the other non-Kiwis standing on the side, Kareem and Bairstow and Rob Baker. But yeah, it was awesome haka. Great tribute to Tom Abercrombie. So
yeah, the Brockington one's interesting because, I mean, he's never actually played with Tom.
Yeah.
Parker played a season with Thomas.
Yeah.
So they're probably, and obviously Abercrombie's still involved with the club on some sort of level, but yeah, unexpected to see Brock there. And you know what? They did a pretty good job. And yeah, great occasion. Was very special to see it get unveiled, which thoroughly enjoyed. But regardless, other than that being a special night, the Breakers got a 97-95 win. Huge underdogs. I didn't see the bookies before the game, but it would have been really heavy outsiders, especially with no starting bigs. But, Rob Lowe did a number, I thought, not a number, but I think he held his own. And we'll go over the stats and everything so far. We'll start with Melbourne before we get into the Breakers, because, my God, there was one player in particular that I think you'll find that quite stuck out for the Breakers in this game.
Yeah, well, we went into this game, obviously, knowing that Rob Lowe was going to be starting at centre, and Melbourne obviously having Jesse Edwards, one of the best centres in the league. We thought it was going to be a bit of a bloodbath, you could say.
Oh, yeah.
Jesse Edwards just dominating Rob Lowe. And to be perfectly honest, he kind of did. He kind of had his way. Rob Lowe he played, I think it was 27 minutes by full time. And you could see there were multiple times he was visibly tired out there on the court, hands on his knees. He's not used to playing that many minutes.
Not anymore.
Because he's been, obviously, 5-6 minutes a game off the bench to come and give Sam a breather. Maybe.
Yeah. But
I mean, when you had Sam and Rob, he wasn't getting that many minutes. So to suddenly just get thrust into a starting role, big ask of you as well. So I think for what was expected of him, he did a decent job for sure.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that Max Darling managed only 9 minutes because he just got in foul trouble. He was playing small ball backup 5. Jack Andrews subbed in for a little bit as well.
4 minutes, I think.
Nice to see a DP get some minutes in a very meaningful game.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jesse Edwards did finish with 23 points, 14 rebounds, and the big one there is that 8 of them were offensive. So a lot of second chance points for Melbourne.
Struggling to box him out,
yeah.
Sure.
But on the bright side, he was kind of the only bright spot I thought for Melbourne tonight. And although we only did win by 2 points, I think in any other time, Sam and Baker there, we probably would have had a pretty convincing win with the rest of Melbourne United not performing to the best of their ability, I thought. But, Chris Golding finished with, I think, 16. But
We got a bit lucky with Golding because he was getting those shots up.
Oh, yeah.
But he wasn't making the most of them.
So, I mean, he shot pretty poor from
like
the field.
6 for 19
I think
or
it was like
something.
30% from the field, which is pretty average. And then I think the second highest score after him might have been Finn Delaney with 13. So everyone else was pretty lackluster. Milton Doyle, I thought Tyson Walker would have been in for a big game. And this was also Shea Ellie's first game back from injury as well.
Man, Shea Ellie, you can just see why he's the best defender in the NBL. His on-ball defense on Parker Jackson Cartwright was just like next level. You could just tell. And that's like him not even back to 100% yet. But yeah, shout out Shea Ellie.
Yeah, he was excellent.
But incredible.
Well, the one bright, well, not the one bright spot, sorry, but the bright spot that took over the entire night, other than Abercrombie's jersey retirement, but from the game, just an absolute spotlight on one man individual. Who was it?
Karim López.
Oh yeah,
what a game! Best game of his. I don't want to say career because I don't know what he got up to before he joined the Breakers, but best game in the Breakers jersey for sure. 32 points. I'm not sure how many. He had a bunch of rebounds as well. Did you put that down? 8 rebounds. 19 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Including 14 straight points, where we just went to him every single possession. We're like, Kareem, get a bucket, and he delivered every single time. Yeah, and 11 for 13 from the field as well. 9 for 12 from the free throw line, so incredibly efficient. And he did all of this in front of Mike Dunleavy, Warriors GM, and I forget their assistant GM's name, but he was there as well. So apparently I seen Olgun Ulick tweeted that they came out here to New Zealand to watch this game just for Karim López and Dash Daniels. So
look what happened to Dash Daniels.
Yeah, obviously Dash Daniels didn't do much, but Karim López, if he could put on like a performance like this for one game, he chose the right game to do it.
Oh
yeah.
Sure. Well,
his draft stock is through the roof after that game.
He delivered everywhere.
Yeah.
Defensively, he was excellent. And when is he not? He's been one of our best defenders this year. But like the help defense he produces is amazing.
He's very strong for an 18-year-old.
Oh, dude, this is the thing I think I needed to pinch myself for. It's like, this guy's 18 years old.
Yeah.
And he just dropped 32 points against growing professional men. And especially in that fourth quarter, 19 points is insanely good. He backed it up. He had 21 points the game before against Adelaide where they lost. That was his career high in the Breakers uniform.
Yeah.
Backed it up with 32. And a lot of these points were getting downhill, bumping off growing men, and finishing over the likes of Jesse Edwards at the rim. Shot the ball really well. On the box score, it says he's 1 of 2 from 3, but he was actually more like 3 of 5 because 2 of them were actually foot on the line.
Yeah.
Especially that one down the stretch in the corner, put us in the lead.
Cop made sure to call him out on that as well.
Yeah, he did in the press conference, which was quite funny.
Make sure you get your foot behind the line, youngster.
Yeah, but honestly, I've never seen somebody so young, other than when LaMelo Ball came to the NBL at 18, and he had a few very dominant performances, but I've never seen a player in the NBL of his age and his lack of experience, I guess, just simply take over a basketball game. It was an absolute joy to watch, and it was just insanely cool to see how far he's come, because this is like the back end of his tenure in the NBL. He'll be off to the NBA draft this year.
Yeah.
But to see how far he's come from watching him in the preseason last season, where we weren't really sold on him. He was 17. We weren't sold on him at all. And he just, the way he's...
You could see the potential.
Of course you could.
Yeah.
To see how far he's come from the NBL preseason and NBL 25 to where he's come now, the growth is just out of this world.
And that's got to be so like... I mean, for NBA executives and GMs and stuff, that's got to be a great sign because that shows he's very coachable and he can develop. Like, what he is currently is not where he's going to be in like 2 years' time. He's definitely one of those players that has a very bright future if you can like develop him correctly.
I think he has a ridiculously high ceiling.
Yeah.
He's about 6'9". He's really athletic. He's a great shot blocker, great defender. He's shot the ball. He was above 40%, but I think it has dropped into the 30s, but it's still really good for a young guy. The only thing that he needs to develop, I think, a lot if he wants to really make that next step as an NBA player, because at the moment, I feel like his ceiling from the eye test is a really, really good 3-and-D player.
Yeah.
If he wants to make that next step, he needs, like, his ability to create his own shot in this game was excellent.
Very good.
I think the consistency of him putting the ball on the floor,
Yeah.
getting a slightly better handle, his touch around the rim is excellent, and the way he gets downhill is great, but if he develops a really strong handle at that height and stature, he's going to be an absolute force to stop in the NBA.
He's already kind of a like real threat going downhill. Not many players like want to get in the way of him. He's very strong. But like you said, if he can just create a bit of like separation with a handle or something, and then like jump shot, step back or something, mid-range, fade away, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, he's gonna be special for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've seen going into the season, I think he was like projected 7th. I saw in some
Quite
drafts.
high, yeah.
But I've also seen drafts before this game where he'd plummeted down to like the 20s range in the first round.
Yeah.
So I think a game like that, it's going to be interesting to see, especially like the Warriors, who are obviously a team that are going to suck for the rest of the season. Sorry, Warriors fans out there. They're gonna get a high draft pick in the NBA draft, I think. So it'll be interesting to see if Mike Dunleavy was really sold on that performance and see how high Karim goes.
I think this draft stock would have definitely gone up quite a
sure.
bit. It was, yeah, like I said, just an absolute joy to watch. And for the first time, I think, in his NBL career, actually fronted media after the game with Kop, which was great to see. But honestly, just touching on Karim a little bit more as well, you got to give a lot of credit to what Petteri, Koponen and the rest of the Breakers coaching staff have done to develop this man into the play areas. Because without them and without the NBL Next Stars program, what the Breakers have done surrounding him with professionals and treating him like a professional, he wouldn't have developed into the play areas. So I think we got to give some credit. And even in the post-match press conference with Kop and Karim together, you could see what type of relationship they had. And Kop looked just so happy to see
proud of him.
How far his, I guess you'd call him a project, has really come. Yeah. So big, got to take your hat off to Kop, a first-time head coach, to see what he's done with a play like that.
And a quick shout-out to some other players in that game as well. Parker, 23 points on 7 for 11 shooting.
Yeah, he shot well.
Efficient as well.
He was
more
really good.
He was in more of like a scoring mindset in this game. I think he only had 2 assists, so it wasn't really like... That's the other thing. Karim was like getting a lot of his points off his own shot, like we were saying. He was creating his own shot in this game. Whereas like in a lot of previous games, he's been getting set up by Parker Jackson Cartwright. So PJC with 2 points, 2 assists, 23 points, obviously in that scoring mentality. And Brockington as well, 16 points, 7 for 12 shooting. So
really good
extremely efficient game. I think we shot like 80-something% from 2-point range.
We were 18 of 18 at halhalftime from the 2-point, from inside the 3-point line, which was ridiculous. And we shot the ball from 3-pointer, like, not great, but not bad.
Yeah.
And this was a game where, like, before that 19-point Karim López fourth quarter, Parker and Brockington were really going toe-to-toe with the United team, and Parker looked excellent. And I think he might have scored, I don't even think he scored in the fourth.
I don't think anyone really needed to score in the fourth.
I think Brockington had a couple free throws to split up Karim's scoring, and then he ended the game at the line too, but man, Karim just took over. But yeah, it was an absolute joy to watch. And we'll leave you guys with the press conference that Will and I attended with Kop and Karim, despite this being, before the game that unfolded last night. But just hear this. There was some really good answers from Karim, just regardless of the game as well.
First of all, congratulations on the win. Huge win. A week ago, heartbreak in this building. The day after we find out Sam's done his wrist. What was the message to the boys all week going into tonight's game?
I think the biggest message was I truly believe we had enough quality and enough guys, to still compete with these teams, and like they showed tonight. And guys played really, really good game, and we had good week of practice, trying to get the guys on the same page, try to build some of the few things how we wanted to play against Melbourne, and the guys executed the game plan really good, and that's it, no secrets. And obviously now the big topic is how Rob Lowe gonna recover, and also Max Darling, still he's not 100% with his knees, but he was on the court trying to give us the valuable minutes, and like I said, everybody did their part, and we are ready for another fight.
Just on Rob, one of the older guys on the team, not saying he was old, only 34. How tired is he now after that game, after a bit of a battle with Jesse down low?
You have to ask him tomorrow, probably. But, I told him after the game, great job. And I think he's one of our, really smartest players with his experience, with his IQ and how he sees the game. And like I said, with his screening was really, really good tonight, and also the connecting things and battling down low with Edwards. He's a pretty big boy down there, but Rob did excellent job, and overall, connecting and playing, but that's the big challenge. Try to recover for Sunday.
How much does Rob's veteran experience come into play in a game like this, being around the league for such a long time?
No, it's really important. Like I said, he's IQ. That's he's been playing basketball many years. He's been, well coached over years. He was with Melbourne. He knows how to play, and it's just about his physical, presence and recovery. And sometimes, we are lucky we have a guy like him behind Sam, so he can step up and use his experience. And big reason why we were able to, attack Melbourne how we did was his shooting ability outside, so we can stretch the floor, try to pull Jesse Edwards outside, and then after this connect. And Rob did an excellent job, and that's it. But really important piece in our team.
Karim, what's your relationship like with the rest of the boys in the team? They all look like they absolutely love having you around. How much confidence do they instill in you for the last 2 years to get to this point, dropping 32 points?
Yeah, a lot. Great relationship. Obviously, I've been with the guys, most of them for 2 years now. Most of them are like my friends. I consider my friends. So it's really cool to have those people that support me every day, and also like the new guys from this, that weren't here last year, like Rob Lowe, Ruben, maybe Ty, for example. Like, they're all great. They're veterans, so like they also like help me a lot, like every day. Like tell me how to be a better pro, how to like carry myself, and like just small things of the game they know better because they've been playing for such a long time. And it's just a great group of guys, and I'm just really grateful to be around them.
How much have you enjoyed competing in the NBL the last 2 years as a whole?
It's been a great experience. Obviously, winning is the most important part. Last year it was kind of a rough season. This year we've been a bit better, and we got a great opportunity to get into the playoffs. So yeah, just trying to do that. Winning is fun.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, Coach. That centre position obviously was shared between Rob, Max Starling, Jack Andrews got a few minutes in there tonight as well. Is that something you're going to continue experimenting with the rest of the season, or are we expecting to see Rob playing 26, 27 minutes a game out there going forward?
No, 100%. Those are the three guys, have to, kind of have to share that responsibility. And Rob Lowe was excellent tonight. Max got pretty fast 2 fouls in the beginning of the game. Then also Rob Lowe got 2 fouls pretty quickly. Also Jack, he went on the court, did his part. Kind of, obviously it's not easy for him, but like I said, really then we were pretty poised when to foul, not to foul, and Rob, using his experience down low with Edwards and battling down there, so it was big key for the game. But that's our rotation.
And Karim, some NBA scouts were in attendance tonight. How big do you think a game like this is for your draft stock, or is that not something you're like thinking of? Just want to get the rest of the season over with?
Well, I mean, as you said, I'm really focused on the moment right now. Hopefully it was a good how do you even say it? A good showing for them. But I really enjoyed playing here. I really enjoyed obviously winning games like this. So I hope we can really make this playoffs, and that's my main focus right now. That's the only thing I'm focused on.
So yeah, that was Kop and Karim. Was great to catch up with them. Nice to actually ask Karim some questions for the first time, I think, in his NBL career.
Yeah, he spoke very well, I thought.
For an 18-year-old.
His English has definitely come along very well. Obviously, I don't know if he grew up learning English or not.
I don't know. Well, he's Mexican.
So Spanish is his first language, obviously. But
You'd think so.
No, he spoke very well English for an 18-year-old. But no, yeah, great to interview those two. Always a pleasure. Moving on to the second game, though, for the Breakers.
Oh, yeah.
This is where it becomes sad, because I think this was the nail in the coffin on our season, to be honest. Tasmania, after having lost a game to Cairns, I believe it was, had left the door wide open for us. This game was kind of like we win this, we're in the 6. It was whoever wins this has the best shot at the 6. The other team's in the 7, chasing. And it was a close one, Finn.
Oh, yeah.
But in the end, 91-89 win for the Tasmania JackJumpers, solidifying that 6th spot. And making it very tough for us now to try and make that 6. I think we're a game and a half behind them, two wins behind them, 1 loss behind them, something like that.
Yeah, there is a lot of things that need to go right in the next 4 games for us to even sniff the 6th spot, unfortunately. But yeah, this
David Johnson. Man.
Oh wowee, yeah.
David Johnson.
The way that this weekend took a really quick 180 from a super high, the high from the Melbourne United game was huge. Like a game that we didn't think would win. We played excellently. Karim did all of what he did, and traveling to Tassie after that, like the morning after a game, you could tell the boys were pretty knackered.
That's the other thing, like that press conference that we did with the boys after the Melbourne game, after Tom Abercrombie's jersey retirement and everything, and then we go and do the press conference. It was like almost 11 o'clock by the time we got out of there. So it's the same for them, and they were heading straight, obviously, wherever they're staying, and then Cop had said they were getting on a plane the very next morning. So, like, that's pretty tough,
And
if you
then
ask me.
playing the next day, but in the afternoon as well. It was a 4:30 p.m. New Zealand time game, so that's a 2:30 p.m. Tasmania game.
Yeah.
So, and to be fair though, Tasmania had just played in Cairns on Friday night as well. So the travel aspect is there for both teams.
Yeah, I suppose.
But yeah, it was a late one for the Breakers for sure. But yeah, the way this took a complete 180, that high of Melbourne, I thought, man, the momentum from this game is definitely going to carry into Tasmania. But I'll tell you what, David Johnson really basically took the Breakers' playoff chances and scrunched them up and hit them in the bin.
No, he didn't throw them in the bin. He threw them right back in our faces.
Oh, jeez.
He walked down the Breakers bench and he threw it in their face.
Yeah, basically said.
There's your chances.
Yeah, they obviously probably did some study on Karim because
Yeah.
didn't really back up his performance at all from Melbourne. But he's an 18-year-old. Consistency is hard when you're that young.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we do just scan over, we'll look at what the Breakers produced first. Some positives to take away here. Isaiah Brockington was excellent.
Brockington, man, he's looked good when he's on and like he's getting the ball, he's being told to go and get a bucket. He's looked great, man.
The whole season.
Yeah.
Well, he's had that one awful game where he shot like 1 for 10.
Yeah.
But like,
What did he shoot from 3 in this one, Finn?
6 for 7, Will.
6 for 7.
Yeah. So incredibly good efficiency. Every time the ball was swung his way and he put up a shot, it felt like it was going to go in.
Yeah.
And this is the thing with Brockington all season. Like, obviously Parker's that number one option. You had Sam as well. Every time Brockington had his name called for him, I feel like he'd go get a bucket. But it was just, how many times have we watched a game together and Brockington's going and getting his buckets and then cold?
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, give the ball to Brock.
Keep feeding
Give
him.
the ball to Brock. Give the ball to Brock. And they stop.
Yeah.
And it is frustrating as
Or
a
they
fan.
sub him off. It's like, why?
But
He's hot.
took this game, 24 points on a great efficiency. So he was excellent.
That's what you need in these games now. You need someone to step up each game. You had Karim in that Melbourne game. You had Brock in this one. With Sam and Baker both gone, you need that from a player every game. And Brock definitely stepped up in this one. And just an unfortunate end to the game, but still an amazing performance from him.
And Ty Webster as well. This, like you said, talking about those guys that need to step up, that next man mentality. Ty Webster off the bench had 15 points on very good efficiency as well. He was honestly by far one of our better players in this game as well. Defensively, he was everywhere, really causing issues on defense. He looked great with the ball in his hand. I thought Ty was excellent in this game. And then obviously we had Parker.
We needed Ty to step up.
We did.
Like, he obviously is the point guard that comes off the bench to give Parker a bit of a breather and sometimes play alongside him. But he must have been sitting there on the bench and he could tell Parker was kind of struggling in this game. Parker finished with 14 points, but 6 for 20 from the field. So he was obviously struggling to find his shot, and Ty was like, "That's all right, I got you, bro." Came in, did his thing. 15 efficient points. That's what you need. Especially when your leader of the team is struggling like that.
Absolutely. And you know the thing with Parker, though, a lot of his game is downhill.
Yeah.
And with Will Magnay out and no real great backup center, I mean, Josh Bannon played a lot of the 5 this game. You'd think the paint would have been wide open for Parker to get downhill, but I mean, kind of struggled to get downhill. And
He was getting fouled.
he shot 0 free throws in this game.
That's crazy.
Ridiculous. And you could tell he was complaining and getting a bit angry. I think that is completely valid. I'm not saying the refs never decide a basketball game unless it's blatantly obvious. There were a few calls in this game that did have me scratching my head. They held their whistle a lot when the Breakers were on offense, but then when Tassie were on offense, some questionable calls.
I guess, yeah, it's frustrating as a fan, but then you also got to look at the fact that there's games where it's been the opposite way around, and we've gotten all the calls. The other team hasn't got any calls, and it's led to us getting a win, and we don't mention it at all then because we win. So, like, I guess we can't really. It's hypocritical for us to bring it up now.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying I'm not blaming it on the refs, but it is kind of crazy that Parker did take 0 free throws. But if you look back about 2 or 3 rounds ago when we played Southeast Melbourne and we shot 49 free throws, Josh King was pretty pissed off. So I can kind of understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just the luck of the draw, and they shot double our free throws, and that is completely fine. That is basketball, right? That's how it unfolds. But Parker was pretty inefficient, hit a ridiculous shot to go into halftime, which was disgusting. But Yeah. If we look over to Tassie and how this game did unfold, we were down the entire game, Will. Literally, basically the entire game. It was neck and neck, though. Tassie would go out on like a 5 or 6 point run, would bring it back. I don't think it was ever separated by more than like 9 points, I think. Yeah. And the fourth quarter rolled around, and I think we had a 7-point run, like a big stretch.
Just
we're right
like the
there.
Melbourne game.
Just like
We
the
had
Melbourne
like
game.
8
We're down,
points
yeah.
in the last, I think it was 4 minutes to go in that game. We were down 8. We went on that crazy run.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing.
Same thing happened in this Tassie game. We kind of just picked ourselves up where we needed to in those dire moments. Parker hit a go-ahead layup. They go back down. I think Bannon got a layup. But then Karim, who'd been struggling and only hit 1 field goal the whole night, fake handoff on David Johnson, who'd had 4 fouls and went by him and got a layup. And we're up 1 with 30 seconds left. And, well, the last play of the game, yeah, let's just say Tiger Campbell went downhill. I think Karim bit a little bit too hard on the help. Left David Johnson essentially wide open for a 3. And a man that shot 6 for 10 on the night, he's obviously going to make the game winner.
And we get game winded on again.
Yeah.
Bryce Cotton, now David Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, just no luck falls our way this season, it seems.
Yeah. David Johnson finished with 33.
This was obviously a really important game because we win this. I think we have a very realistic chance of making the 6. And it's more than just that because, don't get me wrong, I think we make the 6, we get bounced straight away anyway. It's not like we have a shot to win anything. But what it does mean, I think Kop's job and his future with this team going forwards was kind of depending on the 6 seed. I think if we'd managed to find a way to sneak into that 6, and there's still a chance, I think there might be a bit more leniency towards how Kop was this year.
I think he's on a team option for next year. I think I might have heard that somewhere. So, like, obviously it's not really up to him. We'll see what happens.
I think if we'd made the 6, he would stick around next year. And I personally like Kop, and I think he's just been dealt a bit of a rough hand this year. So
yeah, the thing with Kop's tenure last season was an absolute roller coaster, and you know, we can sit here and talk for hours about what unfolded with
none of that was his fault.
No, of course not. And then the new ownership change, and for his group to change exponentially to a Kiwi dominant team. I mean, Sean Bairstow and the imports, the only ones that aren't actually New Zealanders. He once again had to rethink his entire formula for a basketball team. I don't know what his relationship is like with the locker room and how much respect there are for players towards him, but it seems like he has the locker room. He seems like a good coach when times matter. But yeah, like you said, he's dealt a really tough hand. And the NBL is in arguably one of its most competitive states I've ever seen it in its history of the league.
Yeah, no, 100%. But yeah, I think if we don't make the 6 this year, I think it's unfortunately probably going to be the end.
It's going to be a conversation they're going to have, but who knows? What if they win the Ignite Cup final? Do you give it to them then?
Yeah, it shows that we have some grit and some belief that we can go out there and win something, I suppose.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how the rest of the season unfolds. But
yeah, and that's the big one as well. Like you said, like if we won that game, we're actually technically like half a game ahead of Tasmania, but that win puts them to, we'll go on the ladder in a little bit after we go through the rest of these games, but I think they're 13 and 17 and we're 11 and 18 now. So we have 4 games remaining, which 2 of them I think are really winnable. 2 of them are almost impossible, I think, to win, but we'll get into that a little bit later on.
Lately. But yeah, let's run through the rest of these games from round 19, was it, or 20?
I think it's
19
20.
or 20.
19 or 20, I can't remember. I think it's 19.
Starting off, we had Brisbane Bullets versus Adelaide 36ers. This went as you'd expect it to go.
About the brawl.
The best team in the league versus the worst team in the league. Obviously, the brawl happened. But the scoreline, I mean, no shock to anyone. 107-74 win for Adelaide. Again, just massive shout out to Brisbane, though. Brisbane's young centre, Jacob Holt.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
Continues to be their only bright spot for this team. 24 points, 9 for 14 shooting. So, yeah, with Tyrell Harrison's absence, obviously, he stepped up big time for them, and I think he's got a very bright future for Brisbane.
Absolutely. And we've talked about it in actually probably consecutive weeks now because he's just been so good.
So good.
But yeah, Tyrell Harrison's concussion and the downfall of the Brisbane Bullets this year.
Yeah.
Jacob Holt has taken the spotlight and
made something of it.
There's no spotlight, but he's taken a terrible. He's found a silver lining, is what I'm trying to say.
And he's gonna have a bigger role on a team next year for sure.
Yeah, whether he stays for Brisbane or not, but he'll be good next year.
And for Adelaide, Bryce had 22, Jenkins 19. So that backcourt duo continuing to be scary. Yeah, I think that's going to be definitely what you're going to watch out for when you're playing Adelaide.
John Jenkins,
best
shooter
is
in
tough.
the NBL.
100%.
Yeah.
Next game of the round, Finn, what was it?
Perth actually got a win over Southeast Melbourne. This was in the Ignite Cup round, and depending if Perth actually blew out Southeast Melbourne, they would have knocked us out of the Ignite Cup final, which is funny enough. But it was a close game, but Perth did get the win, 101-93. Elijah Pepper and Dylan Windler with a combined 45 points, and, Sobey with 28 and 8, doing his thing.
Yeah, Pepper and Windler, they can definitely, they're the type of guys that can get hot from 3, for sure. So
Pepper's got a nice jumper.
He does. Next game of the round, we had the Sydney Kings versus the Illawarra Hawks, Battle of Sydney, obviously. Sydney came away with the win in this one, 122-104. Kendrick Davis, 22 points and 9 assists, with Tim Suarez adding 23 and Mulawak with 21. So those were the three guys.
Mulawak's been so impressive. He's obviously come in to replace Bull Quall in that void. Honestly, I think he's been better than Bull Quall.
Yeah,
Bull Quall was a defensive dog, but Mulawak on the offensive end has been a better player than Bull Quall.
Yeah, for sure. Xavier Cooks as well, 15 points off the bench for Sydney, 20 minutes.
Still coming back from that injury, though, to be fair. You got to remember that.
But I wonder if, like that's a good performance off the bench. I wonder if they continue to experiment with that.
Yeah. And Torrey Craig off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's in a $1 million man in this league, so you might want to be getting your money's worth in terms of minutes played and start him, but who knows what they're going to do.
Yeah.
As for Illawarra, Tyler Harvey had 25 points.
He hit some tough shots in this game, man.
One of his best games of the season, for sure.
Yeah, he's been underwhelming. Illawarra as a whole have been underwhelming. And I think this round in particular, you can probably kiss their chances to the 6 goodbye as well.
Yeah, they were kind of led by their bench in this one as well. Will Hickey, 15, 5 and 5 off the bench. So showing that all around does everything on the court type of guy. And Dan Garita as well, 17 off the bench.
Love Dan Garita. He's such a good role player.
NBL legend.
Yeah, he was good on the Hawks last year, mate. Was it the Giants?
The Hawks.
I think it was the Giants before.
Yeah.
I think it was the Giants. He's very good, though. Great player, that.
Next game of the round, Finn. Cairns versus Tassie.
Oh, this game, Friday night, man. I saw this result and I was like, oh my God.
Here we go.
Yeah, and then obviously we lost on Sunday. But man, what a game. Jack McVeigh, bro.
Cairns doing their best to help us out.
Jack McVeigh. We had the $1 million player of the year, that massive signing that nobody saw coming. We were so skeptical. Is he worth $1 million?
He's worth every penny.
Oh, yeah.
And more.
Probably.
Yeah.
Holy shit, 40 points. Is it a second or third 40-point game? He obviously had 47 against the Breakers.
I think it's like his third 40-point game.
It might be
and
his
he's had
third.
a bunch of 30s as well.
Oh, yeah. He has been unbelievable this year. But obviously, he had a little stretch where he was injured. And then, honestly, to start the year, I thought he was really underwhelming. His usage rate needs to be way higher.
Is he the second best player in the NBL, Finn? After Bryce Godden? Obviously not MVP discussions. That's a different type of thing. Like that's who's been playing the best this year, and like team record comes into it. But pure basketball player, I don't know.
I'll tell you what, I don't know because Kendrick Davis and Nathan Sobey have been unbelievable this year. But I'll tell you what, Jack McVeigh is one of the most unique scoring ability I've ever seen. He has the most strangest offensive game in the NBL, but it works for him.
Shot selection. Crazy.
The way he gets the rim, he's been shooting the lights out from 3 this year too. Yeah. He has been fun to watch, I'll tell you that, even when he's scoring 47 on your own team.
And then Deng led the way for Tassie with 28 points.
That was his first game back after that really scary concussion he had. Yeah, so Majuk Deng. And he also played pretty damn good against us, to be fair. He played 40 minutes against us, had 17 points. But yeah, pretty good game from Cairns and Tassie, to be fair. But yeah.
Obviously, they kept our chances alive with that win, but it didn't matter in the end. Next game of the round, Adelaide versus Southeast Melbourne. Massive one here. Southeast Melbourne coming away with the win and pretty dominant as well. 97-77 for Southeast Melbourne. Bryce with 26, Flynn Cameron with 21. I think, like we've said it so many times in the past, Flynn Cameron's had an incredible season. Yeah. I think he's locked up that MIP. I think Sam had it, but with Sam injured, I think you got to go with Flynn Cameron now.
Flynn Cameron's jump this year, we've talked about it plenty of times. It's been insane. Yeah. To be fair, like I talked about how we wanted him on the Breakers so badly.
Imagine if we'd signed him, man.
But just quietly, like, who knows if he would have had the jump he did if he signed for us. Maybe his situation in Adelaide, first of all, the wealth of knowledge that Bryce Cotton would have shared with Flynn Cameron. Mike Wells is a really good coach. Maybe that's given him that extra platform for him to thrive. But man, he's on I think he signed a 3-year deal, so he's got 2 more years left. But
and then Nathan Sobey led the way for Southeast Melbourne as he has all year long. 19 points and 8 rebounds.
This is the second time Southeast Melbourne have had a dominant performance over Adelaide. The last time was in Perth and Hoops Fest, and that was without Nathan Sobey. Ian Clark went ballistic against
These
them.
are the important games because I mean these are potential finals matchups.
Oh yeah. They are indeed.
Lots of games this round. Moving on to the next one. Illawarra versus Perth. Perth got the 106-99 win in this one. QJ Peterson, 22 points, and JaVale McGee with 18 and 11 led the way for Illawarra. All of Perth starters had double figures in this one, Finn. Doolittle was the main guy, 26.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Glad to see that they've managed to get over that little internal beef
him and
situation
JLA.
they had.
Yeah, he spoke to media not long after that, and he's like, oh yeah, it's all good now. So it must have been fine. I mean, things get heated. You're in a professional basketball game, and when you lose in a close game like that they did a few weeks ago, it's going to happen.
And what was the last game of the round, Finn?
Yeah, to round it off, Cairns did play Sydney. Sydney got a 106-92 win. Jalen Galloway, Jack McVeigh, and Mojave King all with 17 points. Lachlan Barker, 18 off the bench for Cairns.
Yeah, unexpected, but getting their scoring from multiple guys, it's always important. Kept them somewhat in this one, 14-point loss though. But the main guy for Sydney, Kendrick Davis, 35 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. In an absolute statement game for his MVP case.
I'm telling you, mate. I'm telling you.
He's definitely been playing better than Bryce Godden in the last handful of games, and he's definitely closing that gap between the two of them. But if you had to get a decision out of me right now in this moment, I'm still leaning Bryce Godden.
It's so close.
But Kendrick Davis could, in these last handful of games, who knows?
It's closer than you think.
It is
I reckon
close.
Kendrick. There's going to be a lot of people on that panel voting Kendrick Davis.
There are.
Voters fatigue is a thing.
It's going to be very interesting to see who finishes higher between the two of them as well. That will be, I think that could be the determining factor on who wins MVP, whichever team has the better record.
Why don't we scan over the ladder as well? What an absolute round, by the way. And, just quiet, we didn't even touch on this. That the Cairns Tassie game actually went into overtime.
Yeah.
And Cody Statman had 12 points in OT. That was excellent. But if we look at the ladder, this is going to hurt as a Breakers fan, but Adelaide do still sit atop at 21-8. And Sydney and Southeast Melbourne, both 20-9, neck and neck.
Right on their tails.
Sydney have just been so clinical since the FIBA break. Best team in the NBL since the FIBA break, in my opinion. Melbourne dropped to 18-11, tied with Perth. Melbourne have had the weirdest season I've ever seen. Started 9-0 and have since just been really damn
9-11.
9-11, a negative record since they started that run, and one of the worst teams in the NBL since the FIBA break.
I think Perth for sure jumped them.
Perth could easily jump them, which is crazy to say. And then, Perth in fifth, and then, Tasmania, obviously, in sixth. They're 13-17. And then at full stars, 11-18, like 2 games behind. Yeah. And then it's Illawarra, who are 10-18.
They're done.
Illawarra still have a chance, but I think now that they lost 2 games that round, they're kind of in a bit of a pickle, and we have them in this round as well.
And the wooden spoon battle.
Yeah.
Looks like Cairns got the upper hand in that.
Cairns 8-21, Brisbane 6-23. Brisbane, you just might as well take it now.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, and then if we look towards round 20 for the Breakers as well, just a little preview, we have Southeast Melbourne Phoenix on Thursday night at Event Finder Stadium. So going back to the roots,
That's an L.
this is going to be a really tough game, and I'm a little bit scared. And I think if we lose this one, we will be done forever for the rest of the season.
We're most likely going to be in attendance for that one as well, though. So.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll be there. And then Spark Arena, double game homestand on this round, which is nice as well.
Yeah.
Not too much travel. We got the Illawarra Hawks on Saturday night. I won't be going. My parents' 60th on Saturday.
Shout out Finn James's parents.
They turned 60 like 4 or 5 months ago, but they decided to have their party in February.
Oh, fair.
Well, don't know why, but
Summertime, I guess.
yeah, it's probably why. But yeah, so I won't be in attendance, but we'll hopefully be tuning in because, I mean, regardless, it's got to support the boys. But yeah, 2 big games this round and then 2 more games after that. And then we have the Ignite Cup final on February 22nd. So still plenty of Breakers basketball to be playing. And then, of course, we've got the playoffs, which we'll be diving real deep into.
And then straight after that, we got the Sal's NBL as well.
Oh,
Can't
wow.
wait for that.
That's
Lots
so
of
exciting.
signings have been happening. Quick shout out to Hamza from 33.
Yeah,
Signed with the
Mano
2 Jets.
Yeah. We'll be doing
yeah.
a huge preview on the Sal's NBL.
Yeah.
All the off-season signings, we'll be going through every roster. We'll be really diving into what's going to be hopefully unfolding for Sal's NBL. It's going to be a very fun season. I'm thoroughly looking forward to it.
Exactly. But yeah, let's move on to the NBA. It's been heating up lately. Trade deadline just around the corner, a couple days away, I think. So lots of news happening on there. There's already been a couple trades which we're going to go over. A suspension to one of Finn's favorite players. And then whilst we were just prepping for this podcast today, the All-Star reserves were announced, so we'll look over that as well. But first of all, just wanted to mention the Rookie of the Year race, Finn.
Oh yeah.
Cooper Flagg versus Con Knipple. It's heating up to be a pretty good one. I think Cooper Flagg's got a firm grip on the lead in that, in my opinion. But it's impressive to see two Duke guys going at it. They had that game against each other the other day.
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
Coop had 49 points, and Con Knippel got the steal on his teammate Cooper Flag down the other end of the court, got fouled, game-winning free throws.
And he had 36.
36, so incredible showing from the two of them.
Yeah, it's been an absolute joy to watch, I'll tell you that for free. And just touching on Charlotte as well, Con's team. First 6-game win streak since like 2011.
Yeah.
And they looked hyped. They were one of the best teams in January. How weird is that? Charlotte
And their
Hornets.
wins have been dominant wins as well.
They had the best, what is it, winning,
When they win a game, it's by the biggest margin of any team in the NBA this
like
season.
this whole season.
This whole
But then their losing margin is one of the biggest
It's one of
as
the
well.
yeah.
So just consistency's terrible, basically.
Terrible.
LaMelo looks like he's having fun though.
They've experimented with LaMelo off the bench as well. It's a bit
I know.
odd.
I don't think
know.
that'll continue.
He's
but-
not long for that team, I don't think.
But yeah, a few trades though. The trade deadline's on February 5th.
Yep.
Might be 6th for us because we're a day ahead.
I think it's
5th.
Wednesday for us. 2 days away?
Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty soon. But what's happened so far? Not really too much. Vic Krejci on the way to the Portland Trail Blazers.
Yeah, obviously got to cover any Blazers action that's happened. Wasn't the biggest fan of this when I initially saw it. Big fan of Duop Reith, I am. He's been doing good for us in limited minutes when he comes on. And we sent him to Illawarra.
Illawarra.
We sent him to the Atlanta Hawks.
Illawarra. I'll tell you that.
We sent him to the Atlanta Hawks along with 2 second-round picks for Vic Krejci. Now, I don't know if Vic Krejci's worth 2 second-round picks.
Good 3-point shooter.
Especially when Portland are drafting players like Tamani Kamara in the second round. But yeah, we'll see how it all works out. The Portland Trailblazers are obviously the worst 3-point percentage shooting team in the league. So that's obviously what they're aiming for with this trade, getting Vic Krejci, 3-point sniper. He's going to play a good role off our bench for us, I think.
Yeah, you draft good players in the second round, but how about your first round selection? Just gone, bro.
Donovan Klingon's great. Shaden Sharp's great.
Sorry, the most recent draft?
Young Hudson?
Yeah. How's he going?
We're developing him in the G League.
Yeah, and how's that going?
It's going good. He's been good in the G League.
Oh, yeah.
He got selected to the Rising Stars game on the G League team.
Yeah,
He's
they just
been
did that because they
dominating.
want the Chinese audience to watch.
No,
Yeah.
they didn't.
Yeah, they
He's
did.
been very good in the G League.
All right, another trade that's actually unfolded as well. Dennis Schroeder gets passed around like a joint because he's on another team. I think this is 11th or 12th NBA team he's been on. Almost as much as Ish Smith. And he's been traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers for DeAndre Hunter, which I don't really...
Let's not forget the main part of this trade. Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis.
Oh, yeah, Keon
traded
Ellis.
to the
Sorry.
Cleveland Cavaliers. I think Keon Ellis is a big pickup for the Cavs.
Good role player.
I mean, he's like a very good defender for a guard. He's everything that they wanted Lonzo Ball to be, but hasn't really turned into it.
Oh, Lonzo's been terrible.
So
man.
I think Keon Ellis is definitely going to be an integral piece to that Cavs team to back up Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland when they need breathers.
Dennis Schroeder as well.
Schroeder, I guess, yeah, but he's
been good on my fantasy.
He's a good veteran presence, I
He's
suppose.
good at my fantasy this year.
And DeAndre Hunter to the Kings. I don't know what the Kings are doing in this one, to be honest.
I mean, they suck.
yeah,
So,
but like,
do we really care?
Does Hunter have that much potential to try and unlock?
He had flashes. Said flashes.
I
Broke
suppose.
Josh Giddey's ankles and dunked on someone. That was quite cool. But the big one is
Yeah,
the big report. Giannis Antetokounmpo should be on the move at least before February 5th.
if not, he's probably going to leave in the offseason.
I'm pretty sure it's
So-
confirmed that he will be gone. I mean, the Bucks are the 13th seed in the Eastern Conference now.
They're going to want to get some sort of compensation for Giannis. So surely he gets traded because, I mean, otherwise he's just going to leave in the offseason. The
For
Bucks get
nothing.
nothing. So he's got to be gone. It's going to be interesting to see whether the Bucks work with Giannis to send him somewhere that he wants,
Or they just
or
don't
if
care.
they just send him somewhere that gives the best package available.
You got to treat one of your best franchise players ever
Or
pretty
else,
well.
yeah, other
What,
players
how-
in the future aren't gonna
MVP, Depoy, NBA championship,
Yeah.
Finals MVP. I mean, like, come on, you got to treat him. He's one of the most dominant players in the NBA. Probably a
like 30
top,
player all time.
probably a top 4 player in the NBA this season when he's playing.
Top 3.
Yeah, top 3. There you go. So you got to treat him well. But there's probably a few packages circling around. Who knows where he lands? I mean, you're high on thinking Portland could somehow.
I know people have been calling me crazy, but like, if I don't know if Giannis wants to come to Portland, so that might be out of the equation. But if the Bucks just like stuff you, Giannis, we want the best package available. I think Portland could genuinely offer one of the best packages possible.
What do you think it is?
Well, you start off with Shaden Sharp as the young piece to develop. He's looked incredible this year. 22 points per game as a second option. He'd go into the Bucks as a number 1 option. I think he has a potential to be like a 28 point per game scorer. Obviously the most athletic player in NBA history. I'll stand on that.
Okay.
So he's the main piece. We are also the only team in the entire NBA that own 2 of the Milwaukee Bucks' own first-round picks from the Damian Lillard trade. So we'd trade back those 2 first-round picks, which are the most valuable of
They're
any
going to be
first-round
good this
pick.
season. Are they this season's first-round picks?
No, they're future ones. But, like,
Yeah.
they're still the most valuable first-round picks the Bucks can get, because then they have control of their own fate going forwards. So I think those 2 picks, all the rest of our first-round picks that we own as an organization, along with, like, a Jeremy Grant to match salaries, and maybe, like, another Scoot Henderson or Young Hudson, another young prospect you could develop as well. I think that's an elite package, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe.
A lot better than a lot of teams could offer.
Yeah, I don't really...
I see trade rumors like the Knicks getting him for Karl Anthony Towns. Like, why would the Bucks want Karl Anthony Towns?
They already
He has
tried.
no
They already
value.
tried a stretch center this year, and I'll tell you what, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Miles Turner has been...
So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But no, I think if I had to predict where he's going to... I part of me hopes he stays in the East, because the West is just too
so
dominant.
good, yeah.
I think the Heat is where I'm leaning. I think that's my prediction.
Yeah.
But then I don't know what the Heat could offer.
Norman Powell.
Why would they want Norman Powell? He's not a young piece to develop.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Bam. I don't know.
He's still not really that young.
They don't really
either.
have any... What can
Tyler Arrow.
Yeah. Injury-prone player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Another
what I
big
mean.
story that's come out, though. Paul George, 25-game suspension after being drug tested after a 32-point performance, and he did a 360 windmill in the layup lines. Whatever he was taking, he shouldn't have been.
Yeah. I had him in fantasy this year as well, so I think I might
Yeah.
be dropping him soon.
He said he was struggling with mental health, so he's been taking drugs. Great job, Paul George. One of my favorite players in recent years because of your tenure at the Clippers, but you're a bit of an idiot. And you know what? Shit happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, swiftly moving on from that because we don't really need to touch on that too long. But the All-Star reserves have come out.
Yes.
Will, you're ecstatic.
I am.
The Eastern Conference reserves, they're pretty standard, really.
You had I don't think Cat deserved it. Really.
Yeah, but there was
Yeah,
there was
Cat-
is there 6 or 7?
7.
Sorry.
This guy.
You had Cat,
Jalen Duren.
Jalen Duren,
Your guy Norm.
Norman Powell made it. Stoked for him.
Scotty Barnes.
Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes, and I'm missing one.
Donovan
more.
Mitchell.
And that was it.
No, there's 7. That's
Oh,
6.
7. Who was the? That's Paul from us.
Pascal Siakam, you said?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Hold on. Let me go on Sham's tweet real quick.
I've had a brain fart.
Yeah, so have I. But it's okay. I'm going to find it really quick in about 2 seconds. Donovan Mitchell. Jalen Johnson. Goodness
Bro,
gracious.
shout out
us.
Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, well deserved. Well deserved indeed. So yeah, Eastern's pretty standard, but the West is where I have some issues.
The East is so weak, man.
Anthony Edwards, Jamal Murray, Chet Holmgren, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, LeBron James, and Denny Avdia.
Very well deserved for Denny Avdia. He's been leading this Blazers team all season long. It's just great to see another Blazers get announced to the All-Star game. I think it's like 26-7-7 on the season.
Yeah,
so
he's deserved it for sure.
most definitely deserved it. Led us into the 9 seed at the moment we're sitting in. The Clippers right on our tails. So he definitely deserves it. And obviously a no-brainer. KD over Sengun. I think that's debatable if you're going purely based off like how well they've been this season, but obviously the name value of Kevin Durant's going to get him in there, so that's good. Same thing with LeBron James. He's been good still. Like, let's not say he's not like the Dirk Nowitzki and Dwayne Wade All-Star selections.
Kobe
where it's
Bryant
like,
All-Star
chuck them
selection.
in there.
Michael Jordan, Wizards All-Star selection.
I think if LeBron's in the East, he's borderline a starter.
Yeah,
That's how weak the East is.
Shout out Jamal Murray, first time selection.
Yeah.
He was probably one of the best players in the NBA that's never been an All-Star, but now he has.
Lots of first-time selections. Him, Chet Holmgren, Denny Avdia,
Yeah.
some others.
Jalen Johnson, Jalen Duren
Yep.
in the East. But this is where I have my bone to pick. Why is Kawhi Leonard not an All-Star? This is absolute blasphemy, by the way.
Shame.
I understand the only player you could argue that should be in there instead of Kawhi Leonard is LeBron James, and LeBron James is there.
Is that the one you're upset about?
Yes,
LeBron James.
that's the only one I'm upset about. And it's because if you just simply compare the numbers and the stretch that the Clippers have been on in the last 20 games, he should be there. We are the hottest team in the NBA. We're 16-4 in our last 20 against really good teams. We've had the Lakers number twice. LeBron is averaging 22, like 6 and 7 or something
Those
like
are
that.
good numbers. Man, you love saying that today, don't you?
Cool. Kawhi Leonard's averaging 28, 5 and 6 on the best team in the best current team you could argue in the NBA. Why is he not in the
Chill, you've had a good run, but
Yeah,
you're still
well,
the 10
we're the
seed.
hottest team in the NBA right now.
Okay, but let's not just forget the start
But
of your
Kawhi
season.
Leonard's numbers are just so much better than LeBron's. So why is he
I
not
wouldn't
there?
say so much better.
28. He's averaging 22 points a game.
He's the first option. LeBron's the second.
I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Also, it's LeBron James.
I know it's the GOAT,
LeBron
whatever,
James-
and I understand that. That's why I'm kind of like, well, you kind of got to put him in there.
LeBron
But
could average
Kawhi should be there.
LeBron could average 2 points per game, 1 assist per game, and he's still going to be an all-star till the day he retires from the NBA.
I'm just pissed off because Kawhi should have some recognition for what he's done for the Clippers in the last 20 games.
Fair enough.
Yeah?
I think, I don't know about
If there was one more spot, he'd be there.
I think LeBron still makes it. I think Kawhi should have made it over like Chet Holmgren. I think Chet Holmgren should have made it.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
I don't
Or
know.
even
I think Denny should deserve to be there. I don't what. I mean, you got
Devin Booker.
Wow, I mean, you got to give it to Devin Booker. The
Suns
Suns
have
should
been
not
good.
be as good as they are, and it's because of Devin Booker and Dylan
Yeah.
Brooks, and you had to give it to one of
fair.
them. And Dylan Brooks was going to be an all-star. Let's be honest here.
He's been good though.
He's been very good. But yeah, Chet, you had to give the Thunder another pick. You had to give them another one because they're the best team in the NBA,
No,
and he's been their second best player.
I guess
But I'm just pissed off. Kawhi, Loki should be there.
it's all right, Finn. It's not the end of the world.
No.
On
it's
that
not.
note, we'll end it with a poll question for the week.
Should we look at last week?
Let's look at the results. Yeah, what
Last
happened?
week, will the Breakers make the 6? Majority said no, and
Yeah.
you all predicted correctly. But this week, Will, what do you have for us?
I got a question for you, Finn. We're gonna go NBA this time.
Ooh.
Does Giannis get traded at the deadline?
I think it would have happened by now, so I'm gonna go no. But
I don't think Giannis gets traded.
I think it's too late.
Damn.
I think it's too late. And like you said,
What?
not a lot of teams have much to offer. Apart from the Blazers, maybe. But there's not a lot that is circulating right now.
I mean, realistically, OKC could offer them something.
But why would they?
been
Someone
struggling.
asked me that at work. And
They've
I
been
just,
struggling lately.
No, they're still no.
They have been
I mean, the
struggling
Spurs are
lately.
close. The Spurs are close, but no, it doesn't fit what they're doing over there. But
J-Dub doesn't help their team.
all right,
We've been over that before.
true.
J-Dub came in and they started getting worse. So do you put a package with J-Dub and a bunch of firsts that they have
No,
to get Giannis?
no, you don't. You don't.
Okay.
What about you? Do you think he's going to get traded?
I think he gets traded
Okay.
to the Portland Trail Blazers.
And on that note, we're going to end the episode here, and we'll see you next week. And who knows? Giannis might have been traded, but we'll be recapping that in the next episode, won't we? Will
We will.
two Breakers games this week. Let's hope they get some W's. At least one I'll be happy with, but I mean, realistically, they're out the 6. But it'll be good to just to support them through the end and just show them off on a good road and prepare for the Ignite Cup final.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see you next week.
See you later.